I was just talking about gang stalking and how certain things will happen to you, um, to kind of like fuck you up, to annoy you, and like I do believe in gang stalking, but when I say I don't believe in gang stalking, it's not that I don't believe in it. It's just I don't believe in the concept of the government's doing it. Anybody talking about the government is doing gang stalking is fucking retarded. Anybody that's saying gang stalking is just in people's mind and it isn't real, they're fucking retarded. But we have to use like common sense and try to like correlate it to what's actually real. So when I say gang stalking, I'm talking about the phenomena of certain things happening to you synchronistically that can annoy you, and even sometimes positive synchronistically things good can happen to you. Like somebody who finds some money on the ground, that could be something that's a good gang stalking synchronicity. But everything happens in this reality for a reason. There's nothing that happens for a reason. So that's pretty much what gang stalking is. So pretty much this title, um what I want to talk about, because when the reason I was talking about gang stalking is because my shit was muted and there's no reason my shit should have been muted. I was saying some real deep shit, like I always say, because I'm fucking intelligent, and the stupid punk ass energies, it created this shit to be muted for some reason. So we're gonna, and anybody that tells you, oh, gang stalking isn't real, gang stalking is, just tell them, okay, if gang stalking isn't real, then why the fuck are you still a bum ass miserable fuck? If gang stalking isn't real, why don't you go out and do what the fuck you supposed to do and get what you want to get? Obviously, because you can. I'm not saying you can't do it, like you can, but at the same time, a lot of people can't do it because they're trying to get it a certain way. Like, for example, if you're trying to get muscle and you don't go to the gym, you're not going to get muscle, idiot. So there's no way you can get muscle without going to the gym. So somebody who doesn't believe in gang stalking, they're retarded because there's certain things that you try to do every day that don't work because you're not doing it the right way. So therefore, technically, in a way, you're being gang stalked. That's kind of what it is. Things happening to you because you're not going through the right protocol and the right procedure to do it, but you're too stupid to know what it is, because most people have mental illness. Most people don't know what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. So this is why you see a lot of like doomers and Gen Z that all they do is just complain and bitch and cry about why shit isn't working, because they're fucking retarded and they're not doing it right. And anytime you tell them that what the right way is to do it, they look at you like you don't know what they're talking about. But at the end of the day, they're the ones crying and complaining about dumbass shit like a bowl of Fruit Loops that they can't even fucking afford. If you can't afford a bowl of Fruit Loops, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's not like a bowl is $100, but if you can't afford a bowl of Fruit Loops, then you got fucked up. You're really fucked up. Like, I don't even want to have your fucking issues. I don't want to even have your problems. You have bigger problems to deal with, and those problems isn't to do with money or Fruit Loops. That problem is something spiritual that you need to deal with. So therefore, once you deal with that problem, Fruit Loops wouldn't even be a fucking issue to you. You may not even need to eat Fruit Loops, you fucking idiot. You may not even shut the fuck up. You may not need to even eat food because of how spiritually strong you are, you fucking idiot. So that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people, they'll complain about certain things, and that isn't their problem. This is why anybody who complains to be about money, anybody that complains to be about they can't find a girl, anybody who complains about me, anything physical, that physical thing isn't their problem. Their problem is they need spirituality. They need to fast for at least 40 days, meditate, breathe, and their problems will be fixed. And if you say my problems won't be fixed, okay, if your problems won't be fixed by meditating and breathing, then you're just gonna suffer for the rest of your fucking life. And if you say what I'm saying is wrong, okay, get better and come and see me and show me your progress. I bet you won't. Most of these motherfuckers ain't on shit. They haven't been doing shit because they're fucking retarded, and they're gonna fail like 99% of people in society. If you're watching my page and you're one of the lucky few to actually think like me, not exactly like me because we're all different, we all have our own spirit, but you think similar to me and you agree with me, you're lucky as fuck, and you should be grateful you found my channel and you found somebody as intelligent to me to be able to understand. So you're like one of the lucky few. So I'm just got to tell you guys that. But as far as the title of this video, 9 to 5s, food, and social media is the cause of all mental illness. So that's really it. There's nothing else. If you want to get deeper than that, then it's a spiritual issue. And spiritually, you got to solve that spiritually. So there's nothing physical you can do. And if you don't believe me, like I said, this is why everybody, the people, the like, you'll have people out here talk about they need money, or they need get something to eat, or they need a relationship, they need this. But why are the people who complain about the shit they need don't have it? But the people who don't complain about the shit they need already have it. Somebody who's rich isn't complaining about being rich, but why is somebody who isn't rich complaining? It's because they don't need money. They need something else. Because if they needed it, they would have been already had it. You get what I'm saying? If they needed a relationship, that means they already would have had it. If you're complaining about it and you need it, I'm not saying you can't get it, but if you need it and you're complaining about it and you find a way to get it do the right way, then that means you need it. You got what you needed, but you got it because of yourself. But if you're complaining about something but you don't have it, that's because you don't need it. And the way you get it is not by that specific thing you're crying about. So anybody that's, like I said, anybody talking about they need money, they don't need money. They need spirituality, they need breath work, breathing, and everything that has nothing to do with anything physical. And spiritual people will tell me, "Oh, we're in the physical world. You need this, nigga. Shut your stupid ass up. Look at all those kids in Africa. They're doing everything they can. A lot of these kids don't even know how to do anything spiritual. The only thing they know how to do is just be in the physical. But where the fuck has that gotten them? That hasn't gotten them shit. So obviously, and sometimes you're so fucked up, you make so much mistakes, you have to just suffer. Like a lot of those kids in these third world countries, their spirit fucked up so much over a course of so many years of lifetime spiritually, that they have to live it out. So their shadow work is just being in that situation, living it out, and just roughing it out through this life because they fucked up so many times. So that a lot of people, they're getting themselves in that situation. Like a lot of Gen Z, they're pretty much doomed. Not doomed as in they can't do nothing about it, but their ego and their mind is so fucked up that even if they wanted to get better, they couldn't, because their ego is so tight. It's so rigid. They can't even formulate a thought to think of something different. So like, for example, somebody who's a fat ass, and I tell them you need to fast for 50 days. They're going to say, you're crazy. You don't need to fast. You don't need to do this. But they're going to be a fat ass for the rest of their life. And then every day they're going to be trying so many things to not be a fat ass, and none of it's going to work. And before they know it, they're going to be died a fat ass. But they're going to still die thinking that they could have done something else. But the only thing they could have done that would have worked was the fast. But they didn't want to do that. So they're retarded. So like, that's exactly what it is. So shout out to Damian Fulcrum, was good with it. And it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Say that's the harsh truth of the friends. It does offend normal people. A lot of people it offends, and it's like, it's crazy. Like, I don't even know how you do it. Like, cause you got like a large following, and it's like, for me, like if I had a large following, I couldn't see nobody but just fake ass people. Like, bitch, you don't even like me. The only reason you fuck with me is because of the program. Like, so I don't even like fake ass love and shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I see too much fake love, I don't fuck with it. That's why I like to be authentically raw myself. So therefore, I can only attract real people. Because like, don't get me wrong, it's good to have fake ass love, because you could profit and monetize it and get money from it. But that's as far as it goes. I don't give a fuck about fake love as on a personal level. But as far as I can monetize you, I can make some views or whatever off you, then that's good. And then people want to say, oh, it's about the money. It's about the money. Bitch, you just about the money too, because you ain't giving your bank account to some fucking homeless person. You want to keep your bank account for your own needs. So bitch, aren't you just about money? Can a kid in Africa tell you for you to give him his check to make him survive? But then you'll have a reason why you shouldn't do that. That's why I say people are retarded, dude. Like, just do you. Ain't nobody have no fucking answers to anything other than you. Really. But this reality though is done, man. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, I really hate this place that I'm in. Like, I'm grateful for the place that I'm staying at. It's a very nice place that I'm at. But like, every time I walk outside to go outside, I fucking just hate it. I hate the energy here, the people. And like, I'm starting to realize this is an American thing. Like, I left that post. When I complain and I do these rants, always remember this is an American thing. This is an American thing. This is not no motherfucking like, because first of all, I'm not in another country. And I noticed, like, when I'm online and I be seeing people in the chat, in the comment, I notice like people be saying some like for example, I'm gonna give you an example. There was this white bitch, right? There was something that I'm not gonna go too deep of what actually went on, But what happened was, I see your question. I'm gonna answer. I just don't want to lose my train of thought. There's something that happened in the video, and then the white bitch commented, and when she commented, I was like, there's no way this white bitch is from America, because what she said and how she formulated it through her thoughts, which made her type that and comment that, that's no way she's an American white person. That has to be a European white person. And long behold, I went on her page. She was from like Czech Republic or like some type of European country. Because black people and white people, and just people in general, because black people and white people are the biggest problems of reality, of society. I don't mean black people like in personally, like, because I'm black, but I'm talking about the way they think. Niggers and crackers, their mind, their mentality is what poisons this fucking world. This is what 90% of the problems come from. American blacks and American whites. That's the majority of the world's problems. Anybody you see that has a mental illness and starts doing dumb shit thinks like a nigger or a fucking white American European, like a bigot, like a retard, MAGA hat wearing fag. You got to understand that. And I'm not being racist on, because I it's both sides. So when that white lady typed the comment, there was no way she would have responded to what was in that video the way she did, and not be not be an American, or not be from another country, because an American person would talk differently. So this is why I'm saying, like, this is an American thing. And he's like, have you ever been to Antioch? Yeah, I used to go there all the time. My godfather, he lived there. I used to go there when I was young. I used to visit him like back when I was like all the time. And he passed away years ago, but he used to live in Antioch. I like Antioch. I used to live in Fremont. That's where I grew up. I went to high school at Washington High. I hated that fucking school. It's funny. I had a homie in Washington High. He hella looked like you too, like Damian Luck. He looked and talked like he's like Filipino or something. He looked like you too. He was in Washington High. But that's where I was at, really. I was born in Hayward. Yeah, we from the same area. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I was born in Hayward, and then I grew up, and I went to high school in Fremont. And I was around Union City, Fremont, that whole area, that Tri-City, San Jose. I played soccer in it was like the little leagues, but it was like in San Jose. Yeah, so I was there from like back in like 2005 to like 2009. But then I came back there because I had friends and people out there. So, and I lived in San Francisco. I went to culinary school out there for like a year, like back in 2010. So I've been out in the Bay Area. I used to always go out there a lot. Yeah. But I went to high school out there, so it's cool out there. It's way better. Like it's a good vibe out there. I like it a lot better. Like, and it's funny because like when I moved out of there, like when I moved out, it's like I kind of realized, because when you're there, you just think like, oh, it's the Bay, it's chill, and you think it's normal. But once you really get there, like at least where I'm at right now, I be looking, I'm like, damn, I took for granted so many things, man. It's just way better out there. Then I can see why it's so expensive. Like people say, oh, the Bay Area is it's so expensive. LA is so, no, it's the reason it's expensive. It's expensive because they want to push all the motherfucking poor people and the black people. That's why they have all the niggas and the broke ass white people moving out to Atlanta. Not to say there ain't no rich people out here and shit. There are a lot of rich people, but these are people who are established. You got businesses, and they can live anywhere the fuck they want. They just choose to live here. But as far as the average Joe, the average working person, they're trying to push everybody out there and keep that area for like all the rich people. That's why all the rich billionaires live over there, because the weather's good, the energy's way better, and then they want to keep that shit for themselves. That's why it's so expensive to live out there, because it's like the energy is way better. And for me personally, I will actually pay more money to live out there. Like, to be honest, like it's not I think it's worth it. Some people will say, oh, it's a waste of money. No, for me, I think it's worth it because I just like it way better out there. But anyways, like, yeah, what I was saying is that most American black people and white people, they're the biggest issue. So every time when I see somebody comment on a YouTube video, or I can tell what country they're from, because like, especially white people, for example, the white people in America aren't the same as white people like in UK, Australia. They're not. There's a different type. Even like when I talk to them, their opinions on certain matters in America is more level-headed compared to like an American here, where their opinion is just more based off emotions. Americans are very emotional, so they will develop opinions based upon an emotion. So, like for example, the whole Donald Trump shenanigan shit we got going on. A lot of it, nobody gives a fuck about Donald Trump. Let me just let you guys understand. Nobody cares. People just celebrate that faggot just to. It's like Hitler, for example. The average white kid doesn't even know the history behind Hitler. All he know is, oh, he killed Jews. But they will write a Hitler sign and a neo-Nazi sign just to, because they know it upsets people. They know it's a touchy subject, so they will go and write that symbol. That's the same with the whole Trump and politicians. A lot of people aren't into politicians. They just like to invoke a lot of anger and emotions to make people upset and to make them feel like, oh, I can go hard at being a racist bigot, so I'm gonna be for Trump. Or like, even black people do it too. Nobody gives a fuck about that stupid bald head, that bum ass nigger Obama. Obama is nothing but a stupid nigger. He needs to fucking drop dead. I wouldn't give a fuck. He hasn't done shit to me. Nor have Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. They weren't doing shit. Those were police. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X was police. That's what they wore, that fucking suit and tie. That's what they were eating good. And they were sitting right next to all these rich white people, celebrities, where the average nigga was getting hanged. So obviously they was police. So black people will sit there not knowing this shit because they stupid. Oh, Martin Luther King's own people killed his people. That's because they found out he was a police. He was a fed, you idiot. Just like when a gangster finds out the dude's working for the FBI, they hang his ass and cut his ass up and throw him with the fishes. That's the same thing they did with Martin Luther King. They found out he was a fucking fed. So all these niggas, they're all just feds and they're just police. They're not shit. So black people sit there and try to sensation, like, oh, look what MLK did. For a nigga, shut the fuck, that nigga didn't do shit. At the end of the day, the reason why black people ain't getting hanged because economically and socially it's not viable to hang black people. It doesn't make sense. Why gotta hang and kill black people if you could make billions of dollars off them buying Jordans and Nikes and being degenerate and make money off them, off the prison system, and throw them in jail, and then when they go to jail complain to them that they should have went to school and then get into more debt to pay white people, and then open up these fake nigger colleges and say that they're owned by black people when really they're owned by white people, because every company and school or everything is owned by white people because you have to pay taxes. And the last time I checked, the tax man's a white guy. So ain't no black business. So if they could make money through black people like that, why would they keep hanging them? You see what I'm saying? But yet people, they're so stupid. So it's black people and white people's mental illness. I'm not saying black people like every black person, or I'm not talking about the skin of the person. I'm talking about the way they think, like the way niggers think and the way white people think. Those are the biggest problems. And if you look at it, that's what you can capitalize off the most. That's why that hood culture, and you could capitalize off of it, and European culture, which is Bitcoin and finance and all this stupid fake ass spirituality, that's their fucking shit. You could capitalize off of it. Every other race, they either have their own culture doing their own thing, or they're not even fucking or they're copying that, and then they're part of the problem too. So then you'll say that they're a problem. But if you look at every person that's a problem that isn't white or black, or that doesn't think that isn't white or black, they'll think white and black. And when you look at every black person and white person that isn't a problem, they don't think like a nigger or a white person. So that's what I'm saying. If you see an Asian or an Indian, like an Arabic, and they're a problem, they think like a white or a black. If you see a white or a black, that's not a problem. It's because they don't think like a nigger or a cracker. So that's really the problem, is this that issue right there. And it's American. It's not just American. And a lot of even when you go to Europe and all these other countries, when you see females, they start acting up. It's because they watch too much American social media, which brings me to the title of the video, social media. That's probably the problem. There's a lot of programming. You got all of this dumb shit, like just stupid shit. It's weird. Like you'll have people, for example, like they'll celebrate. And I like rap music. Don't get me wrong. I like rap music. I listen to it. I'm not saying people should stop rapping about shooting people, but it's funny how you'll see like there was this video and it showed this little white kid, and there was this rapper. I guess his name was like this fat nigga, and he put a chain on this little white kid, and they were rapping and shit. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but why is it that the problem? But then when you want to make money off the rap culture illegally, it's a problem. Like, so they'll rap about shooting and robbing people. That's not a problem. But if I go out and shoot and rob somebody, then I'm the problem. But then why you'll see these little white kids talking about it like it's a game, but then you go and do that shit on some real nigga shit, then somehow the police is involved and you're a bad person. But bitch, you listening to the music. And I, like, you think this shit is a game? Like, people out here doing this shit to survive and make money because of a fucked up system. And I'm not saying it's right or you should do it, but it just, it baffles me, like, how you listen to the music. Like you look at like GTA San Andreas or GTA 6. The whole GTA 6 is like hood nigga shit, gang culture, bikers and mafia, but people will celebrate it. Oh, this is so cool, and I'm gonna play it. But then if you do it in real life, somehow they look at you like, oh, you're a criminal. Why would you do this? But bitch, you entertaining it. Like, you think it's supposed to be, no, the reason you even have GTA 6 is because regular people are out here trying to survive in this system. And then once people started doing that, certain individuals who had money and influence, they seen it and they're like, we can make a game called Grand Theft Auto. That's what it stemmed from. They didn't just make that shit up. They seen people doing that shit for real. But when people do it for real, it's a problem. But then they want to make money from it. Like GTA 6 about to make billions of dollars, but yet to sensationalize something, but then let a nigga go run up into a store, it'll be a problem. And I'm not saying people should be okay with it, but how is it okay for the game? But like, that's what. But and I'm not saying I won't play the game, but all I'm saying is if I see a nigga robbing, as long as you ain't robbing me or somebody that I know or that I fuck with or my family, that's none of my business. I don't give a fuck. That's the corporation's business. That's why they have FBI to go deal with that, because that's not my business. If Walmart's getting robbed, that's not my problem, because I don't own no stake in Walmart stock. I don't own any of that. I'm not an investor. I don't own Walton is not my fucking people. I can care less if that old cracker died today. It wouldn't matter to me. So if somebody robs Walmart, that's the FBI. The law enforcement's problem, the CIA's problem. So they already got shit to deal with that. They got the prisons, they got law enforcement, they got jail, they got indictments and federal charges, and they got all that stupid shit to deal with it. So that's not my problem. But then people will sit there and be like, oh, like, you need to make it your problem and you need to feel some type of way. Or then they'll even show you this shit on the news, like I'm supposed to care. Like, I don't give a fuck what the fuck happens on, like, why are they showing me this shit? Like, I'll be on my Facebook feed, everything, even you guys don't understand, I block probably like over 100 news networks. They be still showing the same news network after I block them. You can't block that shit because they want you to see what's going on. Like, I don't care if somebody got robbed in Arizona. I don't live in Arizona, nor even if I did, if it wasn't my friends or my family or my people, I wouldn't give a fuck. If you need the news to tell you as a grown-ass man that you need to walk around with intelligence and not have money flashing or move more strategically to not be a victim, if you need the news to tell you that as a grown man and woman, you're a fucking retard, and maybe you do need to get victimized. That's just how I say, especially in 2026, like, where it's not like we 10 years ago, and even 10 years ago, you should have been seasoned, because there is still information. We in 2026, at this point, you already know what you got to do. Everybody knows what they got to do. Everyone just trying to figure out what's the new thing that they haven't heard, and maybe somehow it'll make life easier for them. Like, no, bitch, life is not going to get easier. If anything, it's going to get harder the more you don't do what you're supposed to do, and most people are fucked. It's crazy. And this is why you see most people nowadays walk around with mental illness. Everywhere I go, I see people. There's nowhere, everywhere, from family to people in real life, even people I know in my personal family, they all have mental illness. And a lot of this shit is because of people having to wake up, go to work, having to do shit. And it's like, it takes a toll. And the crazy and the scary thing is, a lot of people, they have mental illness and they know they have mental illness, but the thing is, they don't think it's what I just named in the title. They don't think it's social media. They don't think it's work. They'll say there's nothing wrong with social media. We need to connect, even though ever since social media came into existence over 10 years ago, people have been disconnected more than before 2010. And if you're somebody who's older, you know what I'm talking about. So it just shows you these are the problems, and nobody looks at it as a problem. The 9 to 5. If you're not making at least 6 figures and you have a 401k and you have a plan to get out of that eventually by saving up money, you're wasting your fucking time. you think one day you're gonna be able to work at McDonald's without no 401k, without saving up, without making enough money, and you don't even have benefits, and then you're gonna be able to get out of that and retire? You're retarded. You're gonna be working for the rest of your fucking life. But then when you're 20, you don't really think that because you think you live forever because you're 20. But when you get like late 30s, 40s, you realize, okay, I'm wasting my time. I'm not doing this shit no fucking more. You're like, I'm not doing this. But then even some people, they still keep doing it because they really, really lost. Or they feel like, oh, I have kids, I gotta do it. And I don't get me wrong, I feel like if you got kids, you got kids. But if you really tapped in the spirit will allow you to quit that shit, and it will make a way for you to take care of your kids. For somebody who feels like they stuck in somewhere and they don't have no other means to take care of shit, that's because they're not tapped in with no spirit. He's like, they give people mental illness synthetic pills too instead of addressing the problem. And I agree with you. I agree with you, Damien. A lot of people don't need pills, but from the mental illness that I've observed within my personal life and that I've seen, I would say about 60 to 70% of people who are mentally ill, especially within this new shift, they need some type of medication. I'm not saying they need to be on medication forever, but a lot of people within the spirit, I'm not taking no dash, throwing no shade at you at all, because I thought this myself a few years ago or years ago until I experienced real life and I've seen people. A lot of medication, the doctors, that is needed. You may not need it. A lot of people that you may know may not need it because we're spiritual adults and we have responsibility, but there are some people who need it, and there are some forms of mental illness that is so severe a motherfucker needs medication. They literally need it. There's people who literally think there's people with delusions so bad that their delusion is that everybody thinks that they're delusional. So therefore, they're stuck in their hell. There's no other way for them to escape. Because imagine you believing that monsters are chasing you. That's a crazy delusion. Now imagine if you think that you have a delusion that other people think you're delusional, but you're really not delusional. So that's your delusion. So you have crazy thoughts, and when people say you need to go to the doctor, you say no. You're delusional. So you're more stuck in your hell. So when you get to certain levels of mental illness, you need medication to quell that shit. And some people, it's their mental health is so gone, it's a lost cause. This is why I say focus on yourself, because for you can heal internally. For you don't need synthetic pills. People you may know may not need it, but you can't speak for everyone. There's some people who internal healing is too late for them. They have so much density karmically, mentally, it's too late for them. So you don't need to worry about them. That's their problem. That's what they got to deal with. You don't got to deal with it. As far as for you can heal internally. You don't need synthetic pills because that's where you're at, and that's all that matters. You don't be thinking that everyone, they're trying to put, some people need medication. Some people need that fucking shit. And if medication, if they got rid of, if they ban every psychomatic, what do they call it? SSRIs or psycho meds or psych meds. If they banned and got rid of all that, you guys understand how many Looney Tune characters would be walking around here? People just out here trying to kill, rape, thinking different entities is after them. Medication is needed for a lot of people. This is why it's $1 billion industry. Mind you, there are some people that take it that shouldn't be taking it. But I will say, especially in this new shift that's causing people to crash out, at least 60 to 70% of people who are mentally ill need some form of medication to quell their nerves, because their shit is so neurotic. And I used to think that wasn't the case. Everybody can just go and heal. But like I said, you're speaking from your own experience, from yourself. Because if what you said was right, everybody can just heal internally like you can and I can, the world wouldn't be as fucked up as it is. Because the thing is, the longer you take to get to where you need to get to, the more you get stuck in your bullshit. And some people have been stuck in their bullshit for so many lifetimes. So therefore, the density and the trauma is so much. They have to live out this life in just mental illness. They'll eventually escape from it. Everybody gets free and everybody grows, but a lot of the people in the spiritual community will make you think like you can do it in one life. Some people can, but there's some people that it's gonna take them probably like 3-4 lifetimes of them having to get out of their shit because they created so much density, so much karmic from past experiences in this life and other lives that it's gonna take them a few lifetimes of them. This is why I say you don't want to be around people, because you could be around somebody who they're like 10 lifetimes behind, so they have to go through 10 lifetimes of doing the same shit to get the lesson. Just like if you're trying to get a promotion, you don't get a promotion overnight. It takes years to get a promotion. It's the same with the spiritual work. Some people, it's going to take years for them to reach a certain level of consciousness that their spirit needs to reach. It's not overnight. Yes, it gets that deep. They don't like to speak on it in the spiritual community because the spiritual community is very love and light, and they don't want to scare people and make people think that, oh, everything don't get me wrong, everything does get better. Everything does get better, but a lot of people are misinforming and misunderstanding that things things will get better, but 10 lifetimes it's still going to get better, but after 10 lifetimes. I could still go to the store. Like somebody, I want you. Oh, let's go to the store today, and it's 1 in the morning. Yeah, we can go to the store today. Let's go right now. No, we're gonna go 7 at night. So it's the expectancy of what people think. That's where they're misinformed. Like, yeah, we're all gonna get there, but how long is it gonna take you? People assume that everybody can get there whenever they decide to start doing the work. No, you can't just fuck. It's like you making mistakes your whole life, and then you just say I want to get better today, and you just heal tomorrow. No, if you made mistakes for 10 years, then you gotta work for 10 years plus of the mistakes you made to make up for it. You have to pay your dues for all the mistakes you made. If you decide, it's like when you join a gang for 10 years and you committed to the gang, you say I want to drop out. It's going to be a problem because you put in all that work. So karmically, all of that killing, all the robbing, all the blood bond you did with that gang is going to catch up to you. So that's why it's hard to lead a gang, because spiritually you're tied to them. So even though you decide to better your life, you're still going to have to go through a lot of problems, and it's not going to be an easy road. So this is why I say it's better just to mind your own business, worry about yourself and your own people, and let people do what they do, and don't just be around anybody, because you could be around somebody who they're way behind, and you hanging out with them is going to bring you behind. That's why you got to just be careful. And you got to also understand the 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 is a trap. I'm not saying you should not work a 9 to 5 or do it which you feel is necessary. If you're really tapped in the spirit will find a way to get you out of that shit ASAP. It will. If you really tapped in, it will. I guarantee you that. Especially if you're intelligent, you know what you're doing, and you have ambition and goals, it will get you out of that. But the 9 to 5, it wastes people's time. Like, a lot of people came here to do something, and they've been wasting their years doing nothing but working at this same job. So all the stuff they should have been doing, they haven't been doing. So, but they still got to do it. So this leaves everybody, a lot of people are spiritually behind. So this creates a collective karma where you have a lot of crime, you got a lot of resentment, depression, anxiety, which leads to collective karma. And now you have this inflation, because then even the government, they have their own shit they got to deal with. And it's like, now you have all these things like inflation and prices going up, which, don't get me wrong, the government is responsible for this, but a lot of the shit that is being cut away, people don't even need. Like, a lot of people you don't need to eat 20 Twinkies a day. Maybe it's a good thing that Twinkies cost a little bit more money. Look at the rate. I've always liked to make this example. Look at the rate of diabetes. Right now in 2026, they'll tell you diabetes is at an all-time high, especially in countries like Mexico where they drink a lot of soda. Diabetes is at an all-time high in this Western world. And this is with the cost of food the way it is. Imagine if food was free. Imagine if you go to Walmart and get as much food as you want. It was no limit. Everybody had all the food they can want. You want 100 Twinkies a day, you could have 100 Twinkies. You didn't have to pay for it. Imagine how much diabetes, cancer, all these diseases, it will be an epidemic. People will literally be dying every day. You'll probably be seeing people on the street, ambulances going back and forth. This is why a lot of countries, like my uncle, he came over here from UK. He said they ban a lot of food in the US, in the UK, because of the health. They don't want to overburden their healthcare system with a lot of nonsense, because when people eat this shit, especially the stuff that America puts in the food, you're guaranteed gonna have problems down the line. This is why you see a lot of old people in wheelchairs and their back is all fucked up. That's not because they're old. That's because of the food that they're eating. They want you to think a person who's old and senile and has all of these issues is just because of no. That's because of the way they're eating and the way that they were thinking, aka social media 9 to 5. When you think, because what dictates health is what you put in your body and what's on your mind. 50%, I will say 60 to 70% of what is on your mind dictates your health, and 30 to 40% is what you put in your body. So when you have a lot of people on social media working these jobs and miserable and complaining, and you have a lot of food, this creates mental illness, mental problems, and it creates health issues. So this is why you see a lot of old people, they'll say old people get sick. No, the reason old people get sick is because of this American culture lifestyle that they have you live. You're not supposed to you're supposed to die, but who the fuck said being sick has anything to do with dying? Dying is just what the fuck it is. You're not aware of the body no more. The spirit left the body. That's what it is. It has nothing to do with being sick. You can die from being sick just like you could die from a bullet in your head. But does everybody die from a bullet in their head? No. Like, that's what I'm saying. Who the fuck said you can't just die from just like your heart just stops beating, or the spirit just leaves the body? When the spirit leaves the body, the heart stops beating. So if the spirit chooses to leave the body, the heart will stop beating. So that's really how you're supposed to die. Whenever the spirit wants to just leave, but sometimes you may have a lesson you need to learn within that death, that you may die a certain way. So okay, but as far as health issues and all that, no, that's not how it's supposed to go down. But somehow people think it's normal. But my uncle, he was saying that they don't allow a lot of the mental illness shit in the UK from America, like the food, because a lot of the food is just meant when you eat the food, you're gonna have issues sooner or later. That's why like everybody is like, most people, if not everyone, has a health issue or is developing one in America, unless you're like constantly fasting, cleansing, even if you're eating like fruit and veggies and all that shit, because that shit ain't even really, I'm not saying it's bad for you, but it's just healthier eating. It's not there's no such thing as healthy eating. It's healthier eating. And I'm not like, at the same time, it's like, this is why I say put being in alignment more over everything, because once you're in alignment, the spirit will let you know what you should and shouldn't eat. So even if you do eat all fruits, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, maybe for some people fruit is bad, some people it isn't. Some people maybe it's okay for them to eat meat, some people it's not. So one diet isn't specific. It depends on the individual. Anytime you see somebody, they're going hard for one diet, that's somebody who has some type of mental illness as well. This is why when you go into like the healing, the health community, breatharian community, a lot of these people will be healthy physically, but they have a lot of mental illness. They have a lot of mental illness because of, like, they'll be like, these are people who talk about animal rights, and they'll be, oh, we got to save the animals for being slaughtered and shit. And it's like, and I'm not saying you should want animals to die, but anybody who goes hard at that has some type of trauma that they're dealing with that's deeper than the animal. And I've seen it. I'll be going into these breatharian groups. I'll see a lot of breatharian type of people, and they have this fake ass, like this fake positivity. Like they'll talk like they're all nice and, oh, hey everybody. They'll be rhyming with their words. It's time to circulate the vibration so we can get the limbs in rotation. They just start saying this dumb weird shit, and it's so fake because they be smiling and saying all this, but then the moment you say something that doesn't fit their agenda, they get like their smile turns into like a confused look, and then they start like looking at you like you did something wrong. That's why I don't trust the motherfucker. Like I was at the Whole Foods right the other day, and I was getting some meat at the Whole Food, and the guy had a very negative energy, but he was smiling and shit, and I was like, he's like, oh, what can I do for you, sir? But the way he was smiling, like I didn't like that energy. And then I told him I need some of the beef shank. He's like, oh, this is all we have here. And the way he said it, I wasn't feeling it. And then I went somewhere else, and the guy's like, we also got some beef over there. And I told the guy, like, why did you tell me you just had it over here? And he's all trying to like be like, oh, I didn't hear you. Like, motherfucker, you did. But he just is like having an attitude. But he had a fake like passive aggressive energy. And usually when I see somebody who has a fake passive aggressive energy, I don't be disrespectful. What I do is I say something. I respectfully disrespect them. So I'll say something to make them like show them like I see your energy. So don't try to act fake around me. Cause I hate that passive aggressive energy like he was trying to do. So I told him, I'm like, I said, can you hear right? I told you where was the beef? You told me he wasn't here. And then he all like started looking all like he had his true energy came out. Cause he had that energy the whole time, but he tried to like act like he was cool. But I knew I could feel it. And then when I said that, his true energy came out. I was like, okay, yeah, show me your true energy. And we don't have to be disrespectful. We don't have to be on some like nigga shit where we're yelling and fighting. I'm just gonna let you know, like, I see right through you. Don't, if you have a problem with me, tell me what the problem is. We don't have to fight or nothing. Like, cause if somebody tells me they don't like me and they have a problem with me, I'm not gonna fight you over that. It's just when you start acting weird, that's what pisses me off. Is when you act weird, because we're both grown ass niggas. Like, you don't have to be acting like because I don't have to be around you really. And at the end of the day, like I could just plain out right and just say I don't fucking like you, fuck you. I can get to that point, but I don't really want to get there. But it is what it is, guys. I'm not even really tripping. But this shit be crazy, man. This shit be really crazy. Damn, I gotta put the salsa in the refrigerator. I went back to the Mexican spot. That shit was hella good. That was the first Mexican place out here that tastes like the Mexican food in California. It's the first place I went to. So the place was fucking good. I kind of wish I didn't find it, because now I'm probably going to be at that bitch more than I need to be. But yeah, guys, I'm just chilling right now. Ooh, man, it's hot as fuck. Oh, man. But shit, if anybody got any questions before, because like I said, that's really what it is. Food, 9 to 5 mental illness. That's the problem now. And I'm noticing now, like every time I'm out, like it just seems like it's getting worse. Like I could just feel the tension and like the disdain energy. And a lot of you guys might say, oh, just ignore it and whatever. Like, this is everywhere I go. If I go to the cashier, I walk around a store. It's like people are just fucking miserable. And I'm like, I low-key want to just go and take a trip out of America. I'm not gonna say I want to move to another country, because I wouldn't do that, but I would just go live out the country as long as I can and just keep renewing my visa every now and then, come to America and just handle things and do things. But I would never fully move to another country. But I want to just take a trip out, because I'm getting kind of tired. And I'm not saying that's the solution, because there's idiots everywhere, but it's getting really, really bad out here. Like, I don't want to go somewhere where it's perfect, because I don't want to let myself down, because there's nowhere that's perfect. But it's just getting really, like, the energy is just very negative out here. You just feel like the hatred and the racism, just the negative vibes out here. It's very crazy. And it's worse. I feel like it's worse. Like, it was bad. I thought it was bad where I was at in California, but it's when you get to the South, it's very, very bad. Like, people here are very miserable. Like, it's very, very, like, it's weird. I feel like especially Atlanta, it's the most demonic place in the US at the moment. This is why you think they promoting it like it's the place to go and shit. It's because they really, and I seen this article, they say Atlanta has the most facial recognition cameras than any city in the world. It said the world, not just the country, the world. It said Atlanta was number 1, then New York, then LA, then Chicago. Those are the top 4. Atlanta has 60,000 cameras. And the reason why is because they appointed Atlanta to be ran by majority niggers. So you'll see a lot of niggers in government. You see a lot of niggers. They have a lot of nigger culture out here. They celebrate that whole Juneteenth and Black History vibe. There's a lot of that shit out here. So they have to keep an eye on the niggas, because they want to make sure the niggas don't start rebellion. Because they do have a lot of coon niggers, like what's that nigger's name? What's that fucking nigger's name? Not Charleston White. It was another one. I have to log off here in a minute. I'm at 5%. That's why the light turned off. It was another one. The one that comes out every day that black kid gets killed. What you guys doing? You guys know what I'm talking about. They have a lot of agent niggas out here that try to keep all the other niggas in check so they don't rebel and rebel against the white people. But they don't even trust those niggas. So that's why they have to keep cameras to make sure like there ain't no uprising over here. So yeah, I'll advise anybody, do not come out here to Atlanta at all. It's not a good place to go. And the funny thing is, it's getting more expensive because everybody's moving out here. It's getting more expensive, so it's really no reason, because that was the only reason to come out here, was because it was cheaper. But if it gets expensive, like, what the fuck is the point of coming out here? You're coming out here for no reason, and it's expensive. That's stupid. So like, I'm not paying for rent right now, so I'm straight, I'm good. But as soon as I do have to pay for rent, I'm not living here, I'm moving somewhere else. Because I can easily go pay somewhere for rent, but why am I gonna sit there and waste my money for what? Like, if I had to and it was necessary then, but I have other options, so therefore I'm gonna just take it. I'm gonna utilize my things. And if there's no shame in my game, I don't give a fuck, because I've been homeless on the street. And when I was homeless, people laugh at you when you're homeless and shit. I've seen people who are homeless who didn't have their family died, everything. This one dude, his mother died, everything. He didn't have shit. Ain't nobody give a fuck about him. At least I'm grateful to have family that's alive and that's financially good enough to be able to let me stay with them. So that's how I look at it. I can give a fuck about anything else. Because once you on the street homeless, and once you in the hospital and you about to die, ain't nobody, you in jail, ain't nobody give a fuck about you. So right now, if I'm staying with my parents and somebody, oh, you still live with your parents? Bitch, I don't give a fuck, because if I was in jail, if I was homeless, if I was about to die, you wouldn't give a fuck. So I'm gonna stay with my parents, and why do you give a fuck if I do or not? You don't give a fuck. You just want to try to talk shit to think it's gonna make me feel some type of way, and it isn't. Cause fuck you. But I'm gonna end this video, guys. I gotta end this. My shit's about to die. I would go longer, but I'm at 4% right now. But I'm gonna start. I'm gonna be starting another fast tomorrow, and I'm gonna start. When I do my fast, I'm gonna start going live every day I do my fast. I'm gonna try to go live, and I want to document by the end of this year, I'm gonna do a 30-day fast. I'm gonna document it for you guys. This 30-day fast. By the end of the year, I'm gonna get at least a 30-day fast, and I'm gonna document it. And I'm gonna document this shit. It's gonna be good, and I'm gonna start documenting my fast, and not documenting it on how I feel, just documenting it as just letting you guys know. This is gonna be for me, to keep me accountable, to keep going on. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end this live stream, and shout out to everybody in the live stream who left a comment and whatever. And I'm gonna be back probably tomorrow, or probably not tomorrow, probably the day after tomorrow I'll go live. But I'm gonna hit you guys up later. Peace.